So hi all, welcome to another lab session. This is lab 6. In this lab we will see how to design a report in Power BI desktop. Okay. So for time purposes we have already downloaded this zip file, the 06 data sales analysis. Okay. So let us see what this lab has to offer us. So we are going to create 3 designs. Okay. So this is design page 1. In this exercise, you will design the first report page. When you have completed the design, the page will look like this. Okay, so this is the entire design outlook, how we have to create the reports. Okay, so finally the design will look like this. What it is saying in Power BI desktop, to rename the page at the bottom right, please click on page 1, then rename it as overview. Okay, so simply just double click this and just rename this as overview. Okay, and let us go down. It is saying to add an image on the insert ribbon tab. Okay, so let us go ahead, click on insert, click on the image. Okay, click on this one, and we have this adventure works logo. So let us go ahead. Okay, so now we have to go ahead and resize this. It is saying to go ahead and corner it to the top left corner and also drag the guide markers to resize it. Okay, so let us go ahead and just drop it here like this. Okay, to add a slicer, first deselect the image by clicking the empty area and then select slicers. Okay, so now we have to go ahead and create a slicer. So let us go ahead and add the slicer. Okay. In the data pane, drag the date/year field, not the year field of the hierarchy, into the slicer field in the visualization pane. Okay, so date of year. Okay, so let us go to the date table, and you see we have to drag this one, not the one which is within the hierarchy, within the fiscal hierarchy. We need not do that. We just drag this and place it here. Okay, and once we do it, you will see it is coming in the form of a drop down, in the form of this list. Okay, so now we need to it is saying we need to convert it into drop down. Okay, so we go ahead and select this format. We go to slicer setting, and instead of vertical list, let's go ahead and select this as drop down. So now this is a drop down, and let us go ahead and click on this one. Yeah. Okay, now it is telling us to, in the year slicers, open the drop down list, select FY 2020 and then collapse the drop down list. Okay, so let us go ahead and select FY as 2020 and let's collapse this one. Okay, and let's create a second slicer based on the region/region, not the region level of hierarchy. So let us create one more slicer. Okay, and let us resize it. We must place it in the same order. Yes. Okay, and in this particular list it is asking for region/region. Okay, not the one within the regions hierarchy. This one, let's place it here, and you will see that we have these regions over here. Okay, so let me go ahead and increase the size. So values, let me increase it to 20. Okay, not 20, let's do it to 15. Yeah, and for this one also let me go ahead and increase this to 15. Okay, the slicer header, that should also be, let's say, 15. Yes. So this now looks properly fine. Okay, let us go ahead and select this one as 15 as well. Yes. So now this looks pretty good, right? Deselect the slicer by clicking on an empty area. Okay, and to add a chart to the page in the visualizations pane, select the line and stacked column chart. Okay, so if you go ahead, right, this is the line and stacked column chart, the one which is having the line as well as the column chart present. So let us go ahead and let us click on this one. Okay, and it is saying that resize and position the visual so that it sits to the right of the logo, so that it fills the width of the report page. Okay, so let us go ahead and do it like this. Let me place it a little above, and let me place this one a little above. Okay, so now it looks fine. In this visualization pane, what we need to add, we need to add the date and month and the sales of sales. Okay, so date of month, so this is the month, so that will be in the x-axis, and the sales of sales, that will be in the y-axis. Okay, so we need to find out the sales with respect to the month. Okay, so this will be the column, this will be in the column y-axis. Okay. So if you just see, we have this particular visualization. Okay, and now what we need to do, in the visual fields pane located beneath the visualization pane, notice that the fields are assigned to the x-axis and column y-axis well areas. Okay, so we go down. Okay, and this is the sum of sales. From the data pane, drag the sales / profit margin field into the line y-axis area. Okay, so this is the profit margin. Okay, and if I go ahead and if I drag it into the line y-axis, what line y-axis will do, see, this is a line and stacked column chart. So whatever is present in the column y-axis, that is represented here, but if I put it into the line y-axis, it will create a line visualization. Okay, so let's go ahead and click on this. You see, this has created a line visualization with profit margin. Okay, so notice that there are 11, notice that the visual only has 11 months. Okay, let me go ahead and let me format this a little. Okay, the x-axis is there, values, let me give this values as 12. Okay, or let me rather give it as 15. Okay, title is also there, so that should also be, let's say, 15. Okay, and then there is y-axis, secondary y-axis also present. Okay, this is not there, secondary y-axis is not there. So columns, transparency, this is the color, that is fine. Let me go to the x-axis, let me resize this to 15. Okay, so this has increased to 15. Okay, so now if you just see that we only have for 11 months, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 and 11. Okay, the last month of the year 2020 June doesn't have any scales yet. By default, the visual has eliminated months with the blank cells. You will now configure the visual to show all months. In the visual fields pane in the x-axis area for the month field, select the down arrow and then select show items with no data. Okay, so in the visuals pane in the x-axis, okay, so this is the visual. Okay, let me go to the visual pane in the x-axis over here for the month. It is saying to show items with no data. Okay, let's click on this. Okay, so here you can see that this has also popped up 2020 June, because by default it has eliminated the blank value, that's why it was not showing, but now it is showing. Okay, so let us now go ahead and see this one, the deselect the chart by clicking on an empty area on the report page. Okay, to add a chart to the page in the visualizations pane, select the stacked column chart type. So let us go ahead and select the stacked column chart. Okay, resize and position so that it fits the first half of the width. Okay, so let's go ahead and resize it to exactly this much. Okay, and add the following fields to the visual wells / area. Okay, so x-axis will be region / country, y-axis will be sales of sales, legend will be product of category. Okay, so in the x-axis we will be giving the region / country. Okay, so we are going to find out the total sales with respect to country. Okay, so let us go ahead and let us select this country, let us place it in the x-axis. Okay, then we have the sales of sales, let us go ahead and drag this and put it into the y-axis, and then we have this product / category. Okay, so this will be showing on the basis of category, so let us go ahead and place it here. So we have this chart. To add a chart in the pane, select the stacked bar chart. Okay, so let us go ahead and add this stacked bar chart. Okay, and in this one, resize and remaining position, that is fine. Y-axis will be product / category. Okay, so this is product, and product slash category will be in the y-axis. In the x-axis it will be sales slash quantity. Okay, so sales slash quantity. Okay, yeah. So here what we can see that to format the visual, open the format pane, expand the bars and then the color group, and then set the default color property to a suitable color. Okay, so if I just go ahead, go to the top side, and if I see how the visual really looks like, right, you see this is having purple color. Okay, so how to go ahead and do this one, right? Okay, I have selected only France, that's why. Yeah. Okay, so I need to change this color to purple. Okay, so how I can do this, I will go here, I'll go to format. Okay, and in the format, if I go down, okay, into the columns, y-axis, and into the bars, and if you just see in the color, it is your blue color, right? So let me go ahead and select this to purple. You will see this will change to purple. Okay, so I have changed this color. Okay, this is slightly less, okay, but that is fine. I just need to change it to any color. Okay, I will go down here, and it is saying add this. Okay, it is already added in the visualization pane. Expand the bar. Okay, set the data labels property to on. Okay, so let us go ahead and let us select the data labels property to on. Okay, so with this the data is now going to show. Okay, if I go ahead and if I try to resize it a little bit, the values. Okay, let me go ahead and resize it to, let's say, 15. I did not resize. Title is not there. Value. Okay, if I go ahead and if I resize this to, let's say, 20. Okay, somehow it is actually not resizing it because it is with respect to the size. Okay, but if I go ahead and expand this a little, right, you will just see that okay, it will get resized. Yes, now it has resized. Okay, now this particular design page is completed. Let us save the Power BI desktop file. Okay, let us save this. Okay, now let us go to page 2. Okay, let us create a new page, and in this page we need to create this particular design which will look like this. Okay, so it has a slicer and it has a table. Okay, matrix basically. So to create a new page, at the bottom left, select the plus icon and rename it to profit. Okay, so let us rename this to profit. Okay, and add a slicer based on region/region field. Okay, so let us go ahead, let us add a slicer field. Okay, and that will be region/region. So let us go to region and then region here, and let us add it here. Okay, so we have the slicer. Let me also increase this slicer header to 20 and the value is to also 20, and let me drag and drop this here. Yes. Okay, and now what we have to do, we need to add a matrix visual and resize the position so that it fills the remaining space of the report. Okay, add a date, we have to add a matrix. Okay, so let us go to the format visual, let me select it here and let me select matrix, and let me go ahead and let me drag it here and let me go ahead and expand it so that it fills the entire report page. Okay, And now what I have to do, I have to go ahead and add the date slash fiscal hierarchy. So I have to go to date and I have to add this fiscal hierarchy in the rows. Okay, and here what I will do, okay, let me first add it, then I will resize it. In the value section we need to add order, sales, cost and profit from the sales. Okay, so let us go to the sales table, let us add the orders, orders from the counts folder. Okay, orders is there, orders, then we will have sales, then we will have cost, and then we will have profit and profit margin. Profit, okay, profit and profit margin, yes. Okay, and now what I will do, I will try to resize this. So go to values, okay, and let us resize this to 20. This will increase it. And for the column headers, I will also resize it to 20, and for the row headers I will resize that to 20 as well. Okay, yeah, so now it is looking as expected. Okay, and in the filters pane located to the left of the visualization pane, notice the filter on this page, well slash area. You may need to scroll down. Okay, so this is this filter which is present. Let me just it is saying filters on this page. Okay, filters pane, yeah, filters on this page. From the data pane, drag the product slash product category. Okay, this is the filters on this page. From the data pane, drag the product slash product category. Okay, so this is the product slash product category. Let me go ahead and drag it on this one. Okay, and fields added to this filter pane can achieve the same result as a slicer. One difference is that they don't take up the space on the report page. Another difference is that they can be configured to achieve more sophisticated filtering requirement. Okay, inside the filter card, at the top right, select the arrow to collapse the card. Inside the filter card at the top right. Okay, this one. Okay, yeah, add each of the following product table fields onto the filter on this page area, collapsing each underneath the category card. Okay, the subcategory, the product and the color. So let us go ahead, select the subcategory, collapse this, product, select this, and let us collapse this one. Okay, this should be product, and then there is color. Color will be added here. Let's collapse this. Okay, now that I have added it like this, save the Power BI desktop file. The design for the second page is now completed. Okay, so let us go ahead and let us save this. Now let us open one more page. In this page, in this exercise, you will design the third and final report page. When you have completed the design, the page will look like this. Okay, so create a new page and then rename it as my performance. Let us go ahead and rename this as my performance. Okay, and now what we have to do, we will have to simulate the performance of row level security filters. Drag the salesperson performance slash salesperson field to the page level filters. Okay, in the filter pane. So let us go ahead. This is the page level filter, that is filter on this particular page. That is filter on this particular page. So now what we have to do, we drag the salesperson performance, salesperson, and drag it here. Okay, and then we select Michael Blythe. Okay, let us go ahead and let us select Michael Blythe. Okay, and on the my performance report page will now filter to display data for Michael Blythe only. Add a drop down slicer based on the date slash year field. Okay, so this is a slicer. let's format this. Okay, let's first add the data, that is date slash year. Okay, and let us format this to drop down. Okay, so this has been formatted to drop down. This is the year field. Let me go ahead and change this to 15, and this entire values to 15 as well. Okay, and now in the slicer set the page to filter by FY 2019. So this is FY 2019. Let me select this, add a multi-row card visual, and then resize and reposition it so that it fits to the right of the slicer, filling the width of the space. Okay, so this is a multi-row card. Okay, let me go ahead and place it here, and let me drag and drop this like this. Let me make this a little small, let me make this a little large. Yes. Okay, now after this what we have to do, we go down and we need to add the following 4 fields to the visual. Sales of sales. Okay, so let us go ahead and add it. So this is sales of sales, not here, sales of sales, targets of targets, targets of target, then target of variance and variance margin. Okay, let us format the visual. Okay, so how we are going to format it, let's go to the format visual section. In the call out values group, increase the text size property to 28 points. Okay, so this is 28. Okay, and in the general effects background group, effects, then background, set the color to light gray color. Okay, so let us this one, or just this one will do. Yes, light gray color. Okay, and that is to give us this contrast. Now what we need to do, we need to add a clustered bar chart visual and then resize and reposition it so that it sits beneath the multi-row card visual and fills the remaining height of the page and half the width of the multi-row card visual. Okay, like this. So a clustered bar chart, right? So this is the clustered bar chart. Let me go ahead and half of the width. Yes. Add the following fields to the visual. Y-axis will be date slash month. Okay, so this will be date slash month, and the x-axis will be sales slash sales. Okay, so sales of sales will be there in the x-axis, and in the targets and also target slash target will also be there. So let me place it here as well. So it is now showing as expected. Okay, now always remember this, okay, that in in a bar chart which is displayed where the value will be according to x-axis, here you have to place the values in the x-axis, okay, and the category labels in the y-axis. But in normal chart, that is normal clustered column chart, right, in column charts the exact opposite will be true. Okay, in y-axis you place the values, while in the x-axis you place all the labels. Okay, so let us go down and we need to create a copy of this visual. Place Ctrl C and Ctrl V, Ctrl C, Ctrl V. It will create a copy. Okay, let me drag and drop this here. To modify the visualization in the visualizations pane, select clustered column chart. Okay, let us select this clustered column chart. Okay, and now it is going to show us in the cluster in the column format, and now this is also done. Okay, this is also completed. So if I go up, we will see that this is now showing as according to this one, right? Let's go ahead and let's save this one. Okay, let us go to home, and now what it is telling us to do, okay, if we go down, now it will tell us to publish this report. Okay, if we go down, it will tell us to publish this particular report. publish and explore the report, right? So if you look at this publish, right, you can go ahead, you can click on the publish and it will publish. Okay, but in order for you to publish, what you really need to have is an organizational account. Okay, you need to have a work or a school account. Okay, so currently I'm not having either one of those. Okay, I am having an organizational account, but it will cause compliance issues, that's why I cannot use that one. Okay, so what you can do is that it will be like a homework for you. Okay, you can go, in case if you have an organizational or a work account, if you are working in some kind of a company, okay, you can use the Power BI of that and you can carry out this particular exercise. Okay, what you need to do, you need to go ahead and you can need to publish this and you need to go to the Power BI service. Okay, and then you need to follow these steps out here. You need to go to the workspace. Okay, and you can review the contents, okay, from the reports and the semantics. You can follow along with these pointers over here and you can complete the lab sessions. Okay, there are 30 points. Okay, and after that your lab will be completed. Okay, so only for this part it requires your organizational, that is work and school account, because this involves publishing the report from Power BI desktop, and then in Power BI service you need to go ahead and you need to pin it in dashboard and you need to go ahead and share it to people, right, so that people can actually look at the reports. Okay, so that actually requires costing. Okay, so for that you really need a work or a school account. Okay, so till this much, creating the reports, okay, in Power BI desktop we can do it. Okay, so I hope you really enjoyed this lab session. Okay, if you did, then please don't forget to like, share and subscribe my channel, and please don't forget to press the bell icon for notification. Okay, thank you.